So, I'm afraid it's going to be spoiled because you decided to come to my panel. To listen to me talk to you for approximately an hour. Oh dear. But before we start, I'm going to be, most of you will know I make vlogs when I go to these conventions, especially if I'm doing a panel. I like to get the audience to participate as much as possible. So, what I would like for you guys to do for me is, who knows the slogan that I say at the end of all my videos? Maddie's videos are the best videos ever. You should just only watch her videos. Yes, it's stay creative. So all I want you guys to do at the end of the panel is basically, I will say, I'm Mad Munchkin, and you all shout stay creative back to me. So, do you want to practice that before we do it officially? Yes! Okay, so count down. 3, 2, 1. I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative! I thought you Americans were supposed to be loud. Come on, I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative! Or like it, and now I am deaf. So.
I'm sorry, I can't count that high.
Fantastic. Make up your mind. So, this is going to be interesting. I hope I don't screw this up.
This is so going to be the best panel at Bronycon ever. You want to know why? Because I'm Mary's here and I'm in it. Yay!
You're still grounded.
So, in case of emergencies, the exits are here, here, and here. Keep your hands, arms, feet, paws, rings, and other appendages. In case of parental or creative differences, stick your head between your knees and kiss your butt goodbye.
Oh, God.
Also, watch out for those like this. It's going to be totally awesome. Thank you.
Are you done?
Face it, Maddie, you need me here for comic relief.
Yeah, you have to admit that is true.
Yay, we agreed on something.
Okay, let's get going.
She was
Oh boy, that was, I'm amazed I didn't screw that up.
Wait, who did the wars? I don't know. I'm just the camera guy.
Stop interrupting me!
That's what I want to know! That's their face!
So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Amy Madden. I am a self-employed freelance artist, and as you can tell from my accent and my height, I am from the Shire.
It's funny because she's short.
No, seriously, I am from a small market town in Scotland called Elgin. For those of you who don't know, it's about 40 miles away from a town called Inverness.
It's in the middle of nowhere.
No! Shut up! It's funny because he's Scottish too. Oh man, it's not far from Loch Ness, basically.
Have you seen Nessie yet?
No. So most of you will probably know me better as Mad Munchkin from YouTube, where I analyze animated movies and TV shows, including My Little Pony.
What's that? What's a My Little Pony?
And talk about character execution and issues within the art industry.
But everybody knows they only watch the YouTube channel because of me.
Is that true?
No.
The pink one terrifies
Yay! So last year I was in various panels, mostly about making review videos and being involved in the TFG Analysis Anarchy panel, which is after this panel. So you better go to that, because otherwise I will chase after you and go, why aren't you at that panel? So this year I really wanted to do my own panel at Bronycon for the first time and discuss how important creativity is in everyday life. I am going to use the word artist a lot, but you can insert, whatever you consider yourself to be. musician, illustrator, photographer, frugal horn player, mad scientist, trash pony, whatever.
I'm the best trash pony play. That's
So the good news is that it's very easy to motivate yourself to stay creative. Before I tell you what the secret is to motivating yourself to stay creative, there is one thing I need to tell you. And to quote the magnificent John Cleese, creativity is not a talent. It is a way of operating.
And now for something completely different.
That's good news for some of you. Creativity is not an ability that you either have or do not have. It is not related in the slightest to IQ. That's even more good news for some of you. Especially if you're Mary Sue.
something said. Not good. What was it? Oh my God, did you just call me Tom?
Oh God, yeah. Creativity can be tapped into by anyone of any level of IQ, but it is easier for some than it is for others. Creativity can be best summed up as this. This is a bit like a sermon. Creativity can be summed up as this. To experiment. What happens if I do this?
Comedy. Domestic abuse or Mike?
To be in the mood for play. Kickit. Sorry.
That is not play.
However, let's not confuse being childlike with being immature. Let's also not confuse everyday mundane things with being boring and pointless. So I want to ask you all a question. Did you make your bed this morning? No. Well, that's because most of you are staying in hotel rooms, so you have someone else to make your bed for you. So, but if you did make your bed this morning like I did, because I'm weird, congratulations, you have already achieved something in your day. Ding, level up, achievement unlocked. Yeah. Those of you who didn't, give the people that did a round of applause. Yay, you did the thing. So something as simple as making your bed to some of you, especially those who didn't make your bed, may seem boring and pointless. What does this have to do with creativity? This is the secret to getting motivated to stay creative. Let me explain why. The most important thing to do every single day in order to stay creative is to make your bed. It's a simple mundane task. Why? If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. Doing something as simple as making your bed each morning will give you a sense of pride. It will encourage you to accomplish more tasks as the day goes on. Empty the dishwasher, do some laundry, whatever. It is a reminder that if you take care of the small, simple, mundane tasks with the same amount of care as you would with a big task, you are not only proving to yourself that you are worth the effort of a clean, tidy bed to sleep in, but you are also proving to the world that it's worth getting out of bed for. If you can't do the little things right, then you can't be expected or trusted to do the big things right. I hope I'm talking slow enough for you to understand what I'm saying. Please just tell me to slow down if I'm, talking too fast. The amazing thing about creativity is that all of you guys have it. You know what's even better about it? Anybody?
What?
Creativity is how you juggle a dead-end job and taking care of your family. Creativity is how you arrange your furniture in your house and make it into your home. Creativity is how you get your kids to go to bed at night.
On your shoulder.
Creativity is how you get your teenagers out of their beds in the morning. Creativity is how you get yourself out of bed in the morning.
Also fine. Yeah.
Creativity is how you schedule study time at college with an active social life.
What's that?
What's a social life?
What is this social life you speak
Creative
of?
thinking is about inventing ways to make everyday life less mundane. It's about remembering that we ourselves, as human beings, are masterpieces, created to exist in an ever-expanding universe. Every single human being on this planet is different. Every single one of you is different. We each have different fingerprints. We all have different marks on our fingers that set us apart from every single other human being that has ever existed on this planet. Not only that, but even as you sit there listening to me talk to you, your body is creating energy that keeps you alive. So, what is your body doing in the next 30 seconds? Do you want to know?
Yeah. Not really.
That's not really.
Not
Don't
really.
worry, it doesn't get too graphic, don't worry.
Okay, just check.
Okay, so in the next 30 seconds, you will blink 6 times.
Sounds like a challenge.
You will breathe 8 times. Your heart will beat 36 times. Your body will generate 100 watts of energy. You will shed 174,000 skin cells. You'll produce 72 million blood cells.
Yay!
Yay! Your blood will have traveled for 4 miles. You breathe, you pulse, you regenerate. Your heart beats, your mind creates, and your soul ingests. Some of you might recognize that quote from a certain movie. Anybody? Mr. Gregorian's Wonder Emporium. If you haven't seen that movie, please watch it. It's amazing. So, your body does all these things to survive. To me, this is time well spent. Creativity is as important to the mind and soul as breathing is for the body. You must create to live. The funny thing is now you are all counting how many times you have blinked and breathed. I'm not wrong.
Doing it differently just to prove you're wrong.
So a little bit of background for you guys. I studied contemporary fine art at college, and on my last year of my first Bachelor of Honours degree, I discovered my love for digital illustration completely by accident. While doing my 4th year at art school, I realized that there was a prejudice against photographers, graphic designers, illustrators, in that they weren't considered real artists because the tools they used to create the resulting products were machines, so therefore sucked out the human element, the human element of creativity.
Maddie, you screwed up the script.
I know, shut up.
Oh, pay attention to the script, it's somewhat important.
They believed that the computer was turning the creative process into nothing but a sequence of numbers and calculations. It's a bit like saying once you plug a guitar into an amp, the machine is the one producing the music. Or saying that it's the camera that takes the photograph instead of the person holding it. Of course, any true artist knows the importance of embracing technology with art, because without technology, the human race would never have advanced beyond the Neanderthal. Some people are still in that stage.
Wait.
Present company not included, of course.
Hey. I took offense to that.
Without art or creative thinking, we never would have invented the wheel. It doesn't matter what tool is in your hand. Oops, I just punched the mic, that's good. It doesn't matter what tool is in your hand, whether it be a mic stand or something else. The tool does not make the thing. The idea for what you create was placed in your mind first. So, to be honest with you, I started making digital art because it annoyed my professors at college. And it still does to this day. I graduated 8 years ago. So whether it's a pencil, a camera, a typewriter, or a stylus, the thing that creates is your opposable thumb. Whether it be writing down ideas for a choreographed dance, or drumming the beat of a song, holding a paintbrush, pencil, or stylus like it's a magic wand, creativity is a phenomenon, and the tools we use to make these things allow us the ability to cast the magic that makes these dreams and ideas concrete. So congratulations, you're all wizards.
Yeah!
Raven door.
Okay, so what if you don't feel creative? Maybe you think of creativity as something you don't have. Maybe you think that creativity is something that only certain people are born with. Famous writers like C.S. Lewis, J.R. Tolkien, who wrote The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, or Terry Pratchett, who wrote the Discworld series. Or J.K. Rowling, who wrote the Harry Potter books. Maybe to you, you think you are only truly creative if you are successful and famous, like Rebecca Sugar, who created Steven Universe. Or Walt Disney, the most important pioneer in animation history. Or Brad Bird, that's debatable, of course. Brad Bird, who directed The Iron Giant. Ratatouille. The Incredibles. Darling, please, no spoilers. I have not seen The Incredibles 2 yet.
No spoilers!
I can guarantee you, if you read up on the history of these people, that at one point in their lives they thought they were not creative. I guarantee you that they did not make their beds every morning. They've probably been fired from jobs, they've probably declared bankruptcy, they've been made homeless, rejected by friends and family. Remember, these people are just like you and me. Success and creativity does not happen overnight, nor is it handed to you on a silver platter. Creativity without fame and success is just as creative, if not more so. Creativity is not a talent or gift you are born with. Like I said earlier, it is a way of operating, a mindset that some find it easier to access than others. Brad Bird once said, "If you repress, you depress. To impress, you must express." Do you know, for that slide I was trying to do the voice of Edna?
If you repress, you depress, darling.
I can't do it. To impress you, I can't do it. I'll just do it in the Mary Sue voice, okay?
If you repress, you depress. To impress, you must totally express.
Very good, darling.
Expressing yourself is based on having confidence in yourself. Nothing kills creativity faster than self-doubt or living in fear of making a mistake. Often, the mistakes we make turn into happy accidents. Bob Ross, thank you. Bob Ross, yes. Perfect example of a mistake turning into a happy accident would be my creation of Mary Sue.
I am best mistake. Wait, that's not a good one.
Maybe you know you are a creative person, but you are so full of ideas, you just don't know how to channel them into reality.
Also a problem.
Maybe you are in a situation that isn't conducive to a creative atmosphere. Maybe you are surrounded by people who are not nurturing your passion and talent, and maybe you're being discouraged and told that being a creative person, might it be a writer, a singer, a dancer, an artist, a musician, mad scientist, trash pony, whatever. They might tell you that it's a waste of time and that you should just go and get a quote-unquote real job. Trust me, I've been there, and in some cases I still have those discussions with some members of my family.
Been there.
Speaking from experience, I have done factory work, I have done retail work, I have done waitressing, I have cleaned offices, scrubbed toilets, I have done the late shifts and the early shifts. Or to you guys, I guess it would be the graveyard shift, or whatever it's called. I have worked
when you should be asleep.
I have worked the 0-hour contracts. That means you turn up for work that day and you don't know how long you're working for. You could turn up for an 8-hour shift or longer, or only be given 3 hours of work, or no work at all. To some, people would think, oh, that's great, I have a day off. However, if you have bills to pay, that's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
It can be very difficult. I have been fired from jobs. I have walked out of jobs. I don't recommend anyone doing that. Unless you have another job lined up, of course. The point I am making is that you can't expect to become a full-time working artist overnight. Work that boring retail job to fund your creativity, to pay for drama classes, music lessons, to pay for art supplies. Working these jobs are vital. I cannot emphasize enough how important these kind of jobs are to work toward your end goal. It will discipline you. It will teach you self-control and instill in you a good work ethic. These jobs may be boring, difficult and stressful, but they are fundamental and most important stepping stone toward the career you want to get. When being creative, inspiration can only get you so far. However, discipline can get you even further. Inspiration is a fickle thing. It will come and go. However, discipline is sturdy and will always stay in place.
Preach it.
Hallelujah. Praise Jesus.
Celestia.
Praise Celestia.
Luna.
Amen. No.
Something I'm going to tell you will probably shock you. Being an artist is not a real job.
That's painful.
It is a way of life.
Just like being a brony.
It is a way of operating, like I said before. It is the willingness to play without fear of making a mistake. It is not a 9-to-5 job. It is not a way to make a living. It's a living to make a way. I like that. We should put that on t-shirts, that's good.
Yeah.
And mugs. Yeah, come to my vendor table, I'll put that something. No.
We'll think about it.
If you want to be a full-time artist, you must show your family and friends and yourself and the universe that you are willing to work the boring, dead-end jobs. Like I said earlier, you must take care of the mundane things before taking care of the unusual and exotic. In other words, make your bed before you paint your Mona Lisa.
Yeah!
I don't want to. Okay.
Creativity is a phenomenon. It's not just about making things or performing. It's in how you think and see the world around you. Creativity is a form of communication and expression that cannot be put into words. It is a form of worship. Who do you dance for? Who do you write for? Who do you paint for? Is it for self-gratification? Is it to get famous? Is it for more YouTube subscribers and more likes on Facebook and Twitter?
Is it to link better to your alternate dimension?
Is it to prove to others that you're somehow superior to them? That you have delusions of grandeur, maybe? Or perhaps it's for a friend or family who is sadly no longer here to see you express this creativity. Perhaps it's to worship a deity you believe in. No matter what the reason, creativity is you telling the world and yourself that you exist. And you want to make noise that will echo and encourage others to do the same. You want to shake up the world, might that be the world around you, or in the whole world, or just your friends and family. Or maybe, like me, it's just to annoy your college professors because because that's a really fun thing to do. Or maybe you create because you were inspired by others to do the same. Being inspired by other people is another vital way to stay creative on a regular basis. Okay, here's a question for you. Does anyone know who this woman is?
Yes.
Yay! You're at a Bronycon and you know who that is. Congratulate yourselves, seriously. And if you don't, I'm about to tell you. It's Bob Ross. No, I'm kidding. In the 1980s, a woman approached the toy company Hasbro about an idea for a toy that did not excite the management at Hasbro at all. She wanted to make a toy of a small horse with brushable hair. Because growing up, she always wanted a real horse, but her family could never afford one. Knowing that other children probably had a similar dream, she decided to approach Hasbro with the idea. That woman's name was Bonnie Zachary. I hope I said her name right.
Yeah, you did.
Yay! The original creator of My Little Pony. Now, thanks to her pushing the idea with her creativity and talent in illustration, it is celebrating over 30 years of success. And here we are at Bronycon 2018. This woman, not this woman, this woman. So without this woman, none of us would be in this room.
It's all her fault.
Because of this woman's creativity, perseverance, enthusiasm to stay creative, we are all here together celebrating a wonderful and ever-growing franchise that is also ever-changing, that for many of us has been the training wheels to get us into working in the industry as artists, writers, composers, dancers, mad scientists, trash pony, whatever it may be. All because this woman showed up and showed people an idea. She stepped out of the boat, so to speak, and out of the safety net of conformity, simply because she wanted to make people happy. We all come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different families, and yet we are all here to celebrate this amazing fandom and how it has inspired us to stay creative. I guarantee you all that she made her bed that morning when she went to that meeting with the Hasbro executives.
We don't know that.
Although it's probably more likely that she didn't sleep at all. I don't think I need to introduce this one.
Our Lord and Savior!
Oh my God, it's found. Like with all franchises and art forms, the baton must be passed on in order for things to survive the passage of time and stay relevant to an ever-changing market and audience. Lauren Faust, or Faust, however you want to pronounce it, responsible for reinventing what was an outdated franchise, transformed it into one of the most groundbreaking children's shows of the last decade. This resulted in the birth of the strangest and yet most intoxicating fandoms ever seen in history, with the exception of the Star Trek fandom.
Star Wars is better.
There's no intelligent life here.
The fandom of which, MLP fandom that is, not Star Trek, I consider to be the vehicle that allowed me, and others probably in the room, to be self-employed, freelance, concept artist and illustrator. Being an artist is something you are, not something you do. A way of operating, like I said. Being an artist, this is a good one, is as close to having a superpower that you can possibly get. I like that.
Yes!
The human race is set apart from all other species on this planet because we have an insatiable need to tell stories and to worship unseen forces. Creativity is about celebrating being alive and thanking the universe for our existence. It should never be about making money. It should be about expressing your creativity and pursuing it so you can live doing what you love. Your motivation should be about inspiring others, not making money off them. That may be a byproduct, but should never be your only motivation. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink of water.
This would be best plan.
Oh, that's better.
No!
This is best bottle of water.
Bonnie Zachary didn't want a huge franchise she could make money from. She wanted to make a little toy horse so that other kids like her who couldn't have a horse could have a small taste of what it was like to have a real one. That was it. She wanted to make other children happy. That was her drive. This is what I believe this fandom and the creative souls it has produced should be about. The success came from her passion, pursuit, and creativity. The wonderful thing about creativity is that it isn't tangible. You can't touch it or buy it. Sorry. But it's always there. It's never going to leave you. The more creativity you use, the more creativity you will have. Creativity isn't just a picture on a wall. It's not just a song, and it's not just a book. It is a phenomenon, an event that cannot be fully explained. There are people in this room that will have stories inside them that they want others to read, songs that they want others to sing and dance to, paintings and drawings that will maybe move people to tears of laughter, or other tears. It's liquid pride. So each and every one of you has creativity. Fight me if you disagree. You will lose. You will lose the fight because I have a pink alicorn on my side. So. Also, being Scottish also helps.
Being a Miss Mutt helps too.
And you know what? Maybe some of you don't have a story, or a song, or a picture inside of you. But that's okay, because that means you are full of endless potential. So tomorrow morning, when you make your bed, please make your beds. Think of how many different creative ways it can be done, and invent new ways to do it. Thank you so much for listening to my panel today. Alright, guys, I'm Mad Munchkin.